Hey pros, Crystal here from Elite Hair Care USA. So today we are doing a transformation style on my client who has some balding and thinning in her crown, and as you guys can clearly tell, she also has locks. So we are going to actually be taking those locks off, and she has decided to go with a short alopecia weave. So to start the process, I just started cutting her locks individually. The reason why I did it individually and not just go around and just cut free-handed is because I wanted to save as much of her unlocked hair as possible to ensure that we had enough hair for coverage around the perimeters of her head for the style that we're doing. Now, I did ask her if she wanted to keep her locks. She said no, so they are going to be going into the trash, and she is ready to embrace her new look, and she came prepared. Anyway, you guys, if you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And please don't forget to also thumbs up this video. And of course, your girl always asks for your feedback at the end of the video on what you guys thought about the finished product. So don't forget to do that as well. A little more housekeeping. You guys know that we are now in the month of March. Can you believe it that we are in the month of March already? Well, we have decided to go ahead and launch our March Madness sale, where all of our Elite Hair Care products are 35% off. Our clip-ins, which is our Invisalign clip-ins, our baby tapes, and also our tape-in extensions are 25% off. And any of our Smooth by EHC flat irons are $10 off. No code is needed for any part of this sale. You'd simply visit EliteHairCareUSA.com. Go ahead and add your items to your cart, and it will automatically take the discount off at checkout. Don't forget, you guys, that also we have our Smooth by EHC XL irons coming out soon. And we are preparing ourselves for our anniversary sale, which of course is next month in April, on April the 20th. So I hope you guys get excited because we have a lot in store for that too. But our March Madness sale is going on right now, so you are free to go and grab your products and save that 35%. Now, once I got finished cutting her hair, at this point I would go through and just take a comb and just kind of comb through the ends. Now, remember, she hasn't had a relaxer in years, you guys, okay? These locks did not grow overnight. So with her going from, her hair being locked like this to a relaxed style, I knew that I needed to get her hair bone straight. So I used a sensitive scalp relaxer. Why? Because our sensitive scalp relaxers typically are the ones that get the hair like super bone straight. And they are also good for people like her who have not had a relaxer in many, many years. Once we were done with the relaxer process, we decided to give her a jet black color because she did get jet black extensions. And of course, that jet black color is a semi-permanent. It's going to leave the hair looking nice and full. It's going to also leave the hair looking healthier than when we started. Now let's talk a little bit about locks when it comes on to hair thinning. Thinning with locks is actually very common. Why? Because as locks grow, they get heavier and the hair can only support but so much. So it's like you're trying to use a branch to support the trunk of a tree when it's really the opposite. The trunk of the tree supports the branch. But when you have locks, it's the same concept, and then all of a sudden you start noticing that it's getting a lot thinner. Sometimes you retwist too often. There's so many different things that happen with locks that can also induce a lot of the alopecia issues that some of you are experiencing. Now, once we got finished processing her color, I did rinse her with some cool water, and then I used a little bit of our Soothe and Balance pre-treatment on her hairline to get rid of any staining. And then I conditioned her hair using our B7 conditioner because hair color does sometimes leave the hair feeling slightly rough. Even though it's a semi-permanent color, it can leave the hair with a little too much texture than I would like. I would like the hair to be a lot softer. And remember, if the hair is rough, it is really prone to more breakage. So you want to just make sure that you are rehydrating the hair and getting it down back to that softness that we all want. Now, at this point, we're going to go ahead and start preparing her for her alopecia weaving service. We did save as much hair as we could in the crown so that over time, as that hair started to grow out, we'd be able to use that as a part of her style and kind of back up from having the weaves all the time. Now, for the perimeter, which is the sides and the back, I did go ahead and cut those areas short because she is getting a short style. And of course, when she goes home to take care of her hair, she really won't have much to worry about on the sides and the back because those areas are going to lay down. Those areas are more like a brush worthy kind of thing. You don't have to curl your hair on the sides and the back. It's just really, really carefree. And I like to start my clients off short like this because it teaches them how to really maintain their hair going forward. Now, upon finishing her haircut, this is when we're going to start preparing her crown for the alopecia weaving service. I like to kind of air dry or slightly dry the area in the crown, especially when I know I'm going to cover it with the different layers of protection. And I don't want my client to be under the dryer for long periods of time, so I try to dry it first because I know that if I dry it, it won't be extremely wet and it won't take very long for her to be under that dryer. So if you have a client who's not really used to that, you definitely want to just keep in mind whatever makes it easier for you and also for the client's convenience. So once she got dry and we put on the different layers of protection, which you guys can see there, this is when we started to apply her extensions. This part of the process, I mean, it's really technique based. I know there's some of you out there who wanted to learn how to do our alopecia weaving service. I do offer classes, one-on-one virtual classes for this for my hairstylist people. So if you're interested, send us an email at info@elitehaircareusa.com and we'll go ahead and get a class scheduled. I'm going to let you guys watch the finish of me installing her tracks and then we'll come back and talk about the style. This is the time where the blending is taking place. This is where we have to work the hardest to make sure that it blends in with her hair. And we also have to make sure that the density is right. If the density is wrong, you're easily going to give your client what we call a mushroom top, which that's not what they're going for. Remember, they want this style to kind of mimic their hair. And even though we may know that it's not their hair, the blend definitely needs to be right. So I like to do the blending before I mold the client to put them under the dryer. This is going to give me the time to really see what I'm working with. And it's also going to give me the ability to taper or tailor this style to my client's skin tone, my client's head shape, whatever changes need to be made. This is the time that we're going to make those changes. This is also the time that we're going to be evaluating the style itself to determine, what direction we're going to be going, what hair we need to take off, if we need to create sideburns, if we need to cover any spotting or areas that are balding. Like, this is when all of that is going to happen before I put the client under the dryer to get them molded. I used to actually mold the clients and dry them before I put the extensions on, but it was kind of redundant because me putting them under the dryer first, I would still have to put them back a second time. So I stopped doing that, and now they go under the dryer one time after they're molding, just to get the hair nice and dry and everything blended. So if you guys are watching the video closely, this is what I mean by ensuring that the blend is correct. With my cut, if I cut her before I actually molded her, once I mold her, the mold should be seamless. It should look as though it's her hair. At this phase of the process, this is all about blending and really just giving her a finished look. The good thing about my alopecia weaves when it comes on to my clients is I make it where they don't have to do a lot of work after the fact. The most that they have to focus on is their crown area. And when I say focus on it, it just means to make sure that they're putting on their Elite Hair Care scarf around the sides and the back, and just making sure that they keep their sides and back nice and straight, or every morning they wake up, they brush their sides and back down. And in the crown area, that's just where the focus needs to be, of them just making sure that it's nice and clean and combed, and they're ready to go about their day. So this is really a style that doesn't give them a lot of work to do or a lot of worry. This is really a good start place for someone who has not been wearing their own hair ever, and now their hair is incorporated, but it's incorporated in a way that makes it very easy for them to maintain. Now, just a reminder, you guys, our March Madness sale has started. It will end on March the 11th at midnight. All of our Elite Hair Care products, including the products you guys saw me use in this video, are 35% off. Our Invisalign clip-ins, tape-ins, and baby tapes, those are all 25% off. And our EHC smooth irons, which is the 1-inch ceramic iron, those are $10 off. Now, before I started curling her, I went ahead and added some of our frizz control. That is going to serve as a glossifier as well as a heat protectant, even though you don't really need to protect your extensions from the heat. Remember, her hair is still involved in this, and it is a good glossifier or primer for the hair when you're about to start flat ironing. Outside of the frizz control, I did use a little bit of spritz. Now, the spritz is a very light hold. The spritz allows us to have a more sleek look. It does make it seem more clean, and it makes the iron glide a little bit better. Now, for her curls, I'm just using a 3/10 of an inch pencil iron, and I'm also using a 7/10 iron to curl her. Now, this is not something that we plan on her having to do after today. The most she'll have to do is tie her scarf around the sides and the back and focus on just the crown. Now, I'm going to stop talking, you guys, and let you guys just watch the finished style unravel. But before I do, I want you guys to comment down below. Here's a little trivia question for everyone. Tell me what conditioner I used after her semi-permanent color to rehydrate and soften her hair. If you know, go ahead and comment down below. You should have been watching. You should have been paying attention. So let's see who was paying attention. But I'll repeat the question. What conditioner did I use after rinsing out her semi-permanent color? Comment down below if you get the answer. And I will come back and we'll talk about the finish. So we are basically done curling her up. This was a very easy style. We did a down style with this particular unit or install. Now, I know some of you are like, okay, how long would this last? Well, our alopecia weaving service is really made to last no more than 3 to 4 weeks. This is a temporary style, you guys. This is not a prosthetic, okay? And it is put on with, just regular hair glue. So, of course, it cannot be submerged. It's not a style of that nature. Yes, you can still sweat, but you still don't want to submerge your head. But I want you guys to also comment down below and tell me how you guys thought the finished look came out. Did it blend really well? Would you wear this style? Because I definitely would. I love this style, and she came out super duper cute. She loved it. I loved it. We all loved it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to go and check out our March Madness sale that ends March the 11th at midnight. And of course, if you are in the Orlando area and you are experiencing a situation like this client, or maybe you're going to come to the Central Florida area, you are welcome to book an appointment by visiting my website at elitehaircareusa.com and clicking on the Book with Crystal link. But I hope you guys enjoyed, as I said before, and everybody have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Bye.